preparing. Hello, everybody. This is Ryan Lanier in Austin, Texas. My business is Organizing for Good, and we are circling up with Chris Fuller-Wig from Austin Farm Sanctuary to hear all the exciting developments that have been going on at our Austin Farm Sanctuary since we started talking 2 years ago. I think I need to send you one of those Saturday Night Live jackets because you are a threefer on
Nice.
the NPSO. And I think that's, that deserves a jacket. So
Thank you. Well, thanks for supporting us and helping us be a part of that for 3 times. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, you do have a little help of
That's true. We've got pretty good leverage, I guess.
So just in case there's anybody who doesn't know what Austin Farm Sanctuary is and what your mission is, please.
Yeah. So my name is Chris Fuller-Wig. I am the executive director and co-founder of Austin Farm Sanctuary. Austin Farm Sanctuary is a 501c3 nonprofit farm animal rescue. So farm animal rescue, meaning we rescue animals like this from the meat, dairy, or egg industries is the route that most of our animals get to us. And we provide a place for these types of animals to live out a full, happy, and peaceful life.
And so many great stories, such a great place to go visit. I've been out there to the old site. So you had, okay, first of all, just talk about Buddy first. He's clearly ready to be introduced.
Yeah, this is my boy. He is 2 years now. And we rescued Buddy when he was about 4 weeks old. He was born blind at a goat farm. And because he was blind, the farmer who had him had some compassion for him. They had to bottle feed him, and that allowed for him to be seen and thus brought to us. So he joined us at about 4 weeks old. I bottled him for months after that. So he is very, very attached to me. He's a lover generally, but is a little bit of a different bond with myself. And then this is Tilly. She's also blind. She was born blind and surrendered to us earlier this year at about 3 months old. Is that tasty?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And we're in an area called Buddy's Bud. So we have some of our residents have disabilities. These two are blind. Some others have other ailments. Copper, who's somewhere back there, is a calf that we rescued that only has 3 legs. We're actually doing a big fundraiser. We're calling it Coptoberfest in support of Copper to raise $15,000 to get him prosthetics as well as a mega cart, basically. I mean, Copper it's probably about 600 pounds now and will one day be over 1,000 pounds. And we need to be able to take a lot of that weight off of his front left leg. And so Coptoberfest is our big push this month. And we're going to conclude that with a big party at the end of the month for Halloween. You can't headbutt me.
I mean, well, it can, but
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Shouldn't. Yes. That's very creative. You guys have such amazing names for things. So the last time I was there, you were at your other property. I don't know if you still own it or if you sold it, but talk about.
We still own it. We're working to sell it. So if anybody needs 5 acres of land and a beautiful home, let us know. We're going to be working to sell that this winter now that everybody and everything has been moved off the property.
Wow. How long did that take?
So we bought this land at the end of June in 2021 and officially moved to this spot in April, meaning moved all of the residents were officially at this location in April. And then my wife and I, luckily enough, we're actually able to buy 15 acres and a home directly next door, like literally adjacent, sharing a fence with the property. So we don't live on the sanctuary like we have in the past. We live directly next to it, which is honestly the dream. It's pretty awesome.
That's amazing. That is, wow. Meant to be. It absolutely
is. It's the perfect house for us. And then the 15 acres are an additional 15 acres for the sanctuary to be able to grow. Yeah. So.
And your dogs and cats live over there with you?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the dog side. So we have our 12 dog residents all live with us over there. And then 2 live at the sanctuary, Brink and Lottie, who stay and hang out and guard everybody on this side of the fence.
That's fantastic. I toured the Community First Village recently, and they have a couple of giant sheepdogs because it needs to be guarded out there.
Yeah,
So that's important. I mean, they have, is it, I can't remember what they have out there, but something
probably
that
Great Pyrenees.
the Great Pyrenees guard, yes, it's Great Pyrenees. And I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah,
Anyway, very
yeah,
cool.
yeah. They love it. We did not originally rescue them to work, but they elected that they wanted to do this. They were like, I don't want to be inside. I want to go sit in the middle of the property where the chickens are, our most vulnerable animals,
Yes,
and watch and wait. So
that's phenomenal. I love that. So talk about, well, first of all, talk about the great events that you're coming up. How do you, I mean, your business model is such that fundraising to care for the animals is paramount.
yeah.
And just share some fun ways that people can get involved, whether they can come on property or not.
Yeah, yeah, and you're absolutely right that our model has had to adjust over the last year as we go from 5 acres to now we're managing 95 acres of land. Yeah, we own 55 of them, and then 40 to the north of us is kind of is like gifted, if you will. We've got a lease essentially through the end of 2025 for no additional cost. And so, but that said, managing, building fencing, the infrastructure, you can kind of, I don't know if you can see behind me, there's construction already going on for the medical barn that we're building. There's just tons of things happening here, which is super exciting. But then we also have to be scaling the way in which we provide for the sanctuary in those financial ways. And so at this new location, I mean, a lot of our fundraisers are going to be happening for individual residents. I mentioned Copper, he needs prosthetics, he needs carts, he needs all those particular things. And a way that we're able to do that now is by having events. And that's going to be a huge part of our fall and winter, is now that it's not, 1,000,000 degrees in Texas. Where are you going, bro? Buddy's taken to higher ground over there.
Yes.
We're going to be doing various events. So we have a Halloween party, Boo at the Farm, coming up on the 29th of October. Going to be like an evening market and tours and trick-or-treating and having a movie night under the stars at the end of it. We're going to do a turkey trot for Thanksgiving and have people be able to do a 5K as 3 laps of the sanctuary. And so we've got like a pretty paved road so you can walk or run and do 3 loops and be able to then gorge yourself on some amazing cruelty-free vegan Thanksgiving eats afterwards. And lots of things like that upcoming. We want to get people out here so you get to know animals like Buddy in a much different way than many of us spent most of our lives kind of knowing what a farmed animal is for. And they don't have a purpose. They have, a life and a sentience. And we want to be able to have people connect with that and get to meet Buddy and all of his friends in person. What's up, dude?
Oh my gosh. So as I was listening to you talk, and wow, so my cat has joined the conversation. So many of the nonprofits that I talk to, strategic partnerships are everything because you can't do it all, right? So you must, I'm curious, do you have strategic partnerships with veterinarians or I don't know. We've talked about strategic partnerships before with you guys. Now that you've scaled.
Yeah, we've been working on building strategic partnerships a lot with other sanctuaries and are working to build those in the more corporate organizations like the prosthetic company that's building Copper's prosthetics or things along those lines. It's an interesting space of rescue to be in that I don't know. I guess it's interesting because most of the world doesn't care for or about these animals. They're specifically productized. So we don't have a veterinarian relationship, which is, we have a good one built, but there's a little bit of a discount that comes into it. But we'd like for Texas A&M to work with us. They're a teaching hospital. We have very unique cases. There's no other 900-pound, 7-year-old pig that they've ever got to meet because they've been killed by that point. And so we want to open up to find that this is mutually beneficial for them to learn how to care for animals better and for us to be able to benefit from that. But it has been tough, mostly just because farm animal veterinarian care is the purpose of it is to get them to a slaughterable age. And that's most of what our veterinarians are kind of thinking about versus helping out, kind of a long-term like rescue organization. So yes to the partnerships, but it's been a hurdle because there's also like an alignment in thought that 99% of the world would be like, do you love rescue dogs and cats? Yes. What about pigs? Let me think about that. I've never thought of, like it just is a hurdle. So
Groundbreaking. It's groundbreaking.
yeah, exactly. And which we're happy to be, we're all about being a fast follower when things are already paved, but for these animals, we need to, break some ground, like you said, and we're glad to be the people that get to do that.
Well, that a strategic partnership with A&M, that just gets me super excited. I also think about, the effects that animals have on specifically traumatized children and humans. I know that you have brought children out for some sort of animal therapy at some point, I feel like.
Yeah, we do. So we've worked with various groups. So we work with a number of youth volunteer groups where we've specialized a lot lately is actually working with drug and alcohol recovery centers. And so there's a couple of those like on the outskirts of Austin. And every 2 weeks, we have one of those organizations come out and volunteer with us for anything where between like 2 to 3 hours, which is exciting. Recovery is just an important part of me and Angela's life and our families. And so it's kind of cool to connect with that niche. That wasn't the purpose of this organization, but we've kind of like overlapped in our goal of getting people like that who are in need of connection and feeling and maybe overcoming trauma and wanting to be outside because they're at a treatment center and have purpose and serve. And so it's been really fun to see that unfold over the last year as we've been here. And I mean, frankly, these recovery groups have helped like build the new AFS. Like they picked up the sticks and like everything that like made 40 raw acres become this. And so it's been fun to partner in that way. And, I know them and them reaching out to us afterwards or just being very grateful at the end of a 2-hour day when it's 100 degrees outside of scooping, poop, of being grateful for the work. And that's been pretty fun.
And Buddy agrees there.
Oh, always.
Oh my gosh. So the more you talk, I keep having ideas. So, I would also find it fascinating if you partnered with like some budding filmmakers that came and followed you around and just started showing what you do. I know you were on a show that remind me of that show you were on.
There was a show called That Animal Rescue Show that we were on. Yeah.
With Dr. Phil.
And yeah, Dr. Phil was one of the executive producers on it. Yep.
Okay. Yes. And you had you had a whole episode.
We did. Yeah. We actually shared it with the Austin Bat Rescue. We shared a 30-minute episode with them. Okay. So it's called Batitude is the name of the episode. And I think that it's on, that's on Paramount Plus now. If anybody's got Paramount out there, it was like CBS All Access, which is no longer or something like that.
It's so time for another one.
I would love that. We're working on it. I guess I will there's been NDAs signed of not being able to disclose too much, but we are trying to make a series with us and a couple of other sanctuaries across the country be like a thing. So that would be fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Education is the first, right? Learn
exactly.
Really what you guys are doing is.
Or that we exist. I mean, when we first rescued the two goat girls, Bertha and Cookie, and then Doya in 2016, 2017, we didn't realize that there was other outlets or that this was a thing. We thought that we were just kind of being dealt this card that we were involved in. But for others to know that there's places like this is important. Yeah.
Right. Very fascinating. What else would you share that we haven't talked about yet that you'd love for people to know more about?
I'm trying to, I just saw Pierce drive by. It looks like we were taking in a new goat resident today. So I was trying to see if they were anywhere nearby, but they drove over to quarantine.
Let's shout out Pierce. He is made, I've got my buddy right here.
I love it. Yeah, so Pierce just arrived back. We do have 2 full-time employees now at the sanctuary, which is super exciting.
Wow.
And Pierce and Lauren, Pierce living on site and Lauren hopefully moving on site eventually. But yeah, that's been huge for our organization. And again, I have a full-time job, and so I'm kind of like the weekend warrior and like after hours, but being able to have people facilitating during it. So I guess in other things we'd like to cover, if you want to volunteer with us, I mean, I say this with bias, but I can't think of a more kind of fun place to volunteer, being outside with animals, doing work that has meaning and purpose and conclusions at the end. So if you want to do some work, whether that's joining us weekly or you have a group of friends or family or your corporate volunteer group, we'd love to have people out and connect in that way too.
And that's all on your website?
That's all on our website. Yep. And then we're in the process right now. There's a way to kind of quote unquote build the sanctuary. As I mentioned, we've done all the fencing and the electric and all that, but now we're in big infrastructure mode. So we're actually starting our medical barn process. We hope by the end of October, we've got the shell of that complete. And then the next phase will be building it out to kind of be the ICU, if you will, that we need. Because as we kind of hit this scale, we're finding animals, week-old babies that are in really, really terrible shape. And we want to be able to welcome them to our sanctuary and not an emergency room. That's a tough place to grow up. And we've had a lot of babies have to spend their first or second month of life in the emergency room. And that's been great for their health, but we want to be mindful of their experience. And so creating that medical barn here will keep them close to their friends, their family, and their home.
Who's the master planner? I mean, you've got to have, do you have a little model somewhere? Like, how are you doing this?
There's a lot of pages in my notebook of drawings of me conjuring these ideas up. It had input from many of people for sure. But it just was like envisioning the way in which we were going to set all this up has just been, I don't know, an exciting project of mine the last 18 months, I guess you could call it. And being the person who was at the half acre and then at the 5 acres, I kind of had the hands-on experience of what worked well for us and our residents. So even thinking about like, where does this gate go, or this water spigot, or this electric plug, is all drawn out there and kind of in the master plan. When I was a kid, I played a computer game called Zoo Tycoon, where you basically build like a little miniature zoo and say like, oh, we want grass in this patch, and like, can you put the antelope and the zebras together? Don't put the lion in there, and like different things. And so it's pretty funny, 2 decades later,
You're living it.
I am absolutely living it. So I mean, shout out to Zoo Tycoon. Thank you for the experience building there. But yeah, that's honestly what it's felt like.
Wow.
Yeah. What's up, Tilly girl?
I love that so much. Oh my gosh. So yeah, who just doesn't have the feels listening to what you guys are doing, and what you're doing to can educate and connect with the community, and what you're providing is just a lot, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's really amazing. I just, since talking to you that first time, I've just been such a fan.
Thanks, Brian.
Is the 5K on Thanksgiving Day?
It is. So we're going to start at 10 a.m. And so whether you want to walk or run, and then food's going to be at noon. So hopefully enough time to be people's first stop, and then they head back into wherever they want to venture. But there's always like in Austin, there's the turkey trot, and they're just happen around the country, but they're never for the turkeys. They're almost like in demise of the turkeys. And it's really, we want to be able to like reclaim things like that. Like, this is the turkey trot, like for farmed animals, not sadly on the day where millions are being consumed. So yeah, we're taking back the mantle of what the turkey trot means and who it's for.
You just everything is symbolic. I love that. That's amazing.
Thanks.
So I won't be in town for that. Can I request one in the spring?
I love it. Yeah. There's going to be plenty of events. And yeah, I want to find ways. We're gonna have a camp out in early November as well. So yeah, until it gets boiling out here again. And even then, we'll still be having events. We had our 4th of July party and people were melting, but having a blast doing it. So yeah.
Maybe the 5K in the spring is around the hatchlings.
I like it. Well,
Everybody
Easter,
dresses up like little chickens. I don't know.
well, Easter planning. I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh, too fun, too wonderful. Well, I'm so grateful this worked out for you to be outside with your residents, with your friends. And
Thank
we got
you.
to experience, them and all what they do.
Yeah.
And,
Maybe I'll have to take it from the cow pasture next time. There's a lot of Buddy and Tilly are pretty chill, which makes it a little bit easier to record, but some rambunctious nature. Oh, and what's up?
yeah, I'm not done showing off yet. He's like, that's the part I like right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh darn, I was gonna say one more thing and I forgot. Oh well, it's gone. So oh, I know. So we're gonna continue to promote you all during October.
Thank
So
you.
if there's anything that we can't grab off your website, be sure to let us know, specifically send it to Karen. She will make it so we can publicize it and just continue this education and who knows, the law of attraction or all the things we're going to bring, we're going to bring A&M on to help. Like we're going to bring all this. I
love it.
I really believe it. I really believe it.
I love it. Yeah. If anybody out there knows awesome general contractors or wants to donate the time, our goal also this winter is to build a couple of cabins so you can come and stay at the sanctuary for a week and volunteer or come visit from out of town and be here. So yeah, we've got that's the next step in the after we've kind of settled in and we're made sure the animals are cared for, kind of finding another income stream for them is another way to get people out. So yeah.
Animal Habitat for Humanity. Get them out there.
I love it.
We'll make that be they'll make that be a thing. So
there's our next partnership. Exactly. Right?
We better stop because we have like 20 ideas right now.
Again, I mentioned my notebook earlier. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of that in there. So
yeah, I bet it's hard to you could probably keep it in a box until okay, let's finish this thing. That's how I am too. Like
very true.
Shiny object syndrome. So thanks for your time today.
Yeah.
And yeah, always a pleasure. And I look forward to getting out there and figuring out the new location so I can come check that out.
Thanks. I'd love that. Yeah, please, whenever, just let me know. Love to see you and the fam again.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that your heart was touched. You felt inspired. You felt just all the things that animals make you feel and humans doing beautiful things. That's what the nonprofit Shoutout interview is all about. And, Buddy just steals the show all the way to the end. So don't forget to check out any of the rest on the YouTube channel. And we have 2 more left this year. And we look forward to bringing those to you. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks.